Hi again. So, um, loving your curves, loving the growth, the bigness of your body. It's such, it's so sensual to be so round and large and full of life inside of you, and just really, really embrace that, especially since it's only a phase. Um, and you can always love and work on your body however you wish to, but this is a time to eat a lot and enjoy and spoil yourself and nourish yourself, and don't feel guilty. Just, you deserve it. You are creating the future. You are bringing life into this world. So really taking time to honor what you feel, because the more you are in touch with what you feel, the more your child will be able to have that ability as well. So knowing when you need to rest, or when you need to stretch, or when you need to eat, or when you need to drink, or when you need to be out in nature barefoot or naked. So keep listening, keep trusting. It's all practice for a bigger trusting. So yeah, trusting sources that feel good for you, that ring true to your heart. And it's okay to listen to other people's stories, but knowing that you are creating your own and you can have what you want. One thing I wish I knew prior, not for me, but one thing I wish more mothers knew prior to having their birth experience, is that they don't need to have a first time birth being traumatic or bad to then have the birth that you want and wish for. There's just way too many women that have traumatic births the first time around. And that is why I became a doula, so that I can help teach women that they can trust themselves the first time around, and that when you do hand over your trust and your knowledge over to somebody else who thinks they know your body better than you, then there might be some trauma and some interference that is going to lead to a downward spiral of events. And if you do end up having a traumatic or not so ideal birth the first time around, doesn't mean you should not want more children or say that was terrible, I'm never doing this again. Because you can have your beautiful, lovely home, orgasmic, whatever birth afterwards. I know women who have had 4 or 5 C-sections, and their 5th or 6th was a free birth at home. And so anything is possible, and you can really create your ideal birth and your ideal story. But it takes courage and trust, support from the right people. And so, yeah, finding the right people to support your journey, and letting go of the people now that are not serving your life anymore. When you have children, you are going to see how precious your time is. And if you're still trying to hold on to these relationships or friendships or habits or hobbies that are not really fulfilling or not really valuable to your life at this stage right now, just the earlier you let them go, the easier it will be. I know I had a bunch of high school friends that I was close to, but I moved away, and I kept trying to keep up with them even when having kids. And then I realized it was almost stressful to try and keep up, and it was taking away from my children and my attention on my children. And I just let it go. And it doesn't mean I don't love them and appreciate the times we had together, but I had to move on and just be present with my current life. And as I said, there's nothing more valuable than raising a life, raising a child, raising the future in your own hands. And it really is a big responsibility, but that's why you've been gifted this, because you are going to be strong enough, or you are strong enough to do so. There will be ups and downs. It's going to feel really easy at times and really hard at times, and that's okay. Just keep rolling with it and flow with it, and really remember that a lot of things aren't as big a deal that we think so. It's easy to get worked up on little things when you're tired and needed 24/7, but you always have the ability to apologize and talk with your child and let them know how you were feeling and let them know how you want to do better. And that is all also teaching them how to cope and express. Let's see. Yeah, about the habits and things that you do, practices, your daily practices, whatever things you do, your children are going to do. So even if you tell them to do otherwise, they're going to end up doing what you do. They're watching you, they're observing you every second. Even when you think they're not listening, they're listening and they are watching. And so really you need to be like a beautiful example of a human. And if there's any baggage or crap you need to let go of it now, because that stuff will be passed down. So any relationships that are needing healing, if you can do your best to either close them up, send away any apologies you need to, forgive anyone you need to, let go of anyone you need to, and this will make your birth even easier, because this birthing experience is a huge opening. It's a huge portal. And the more open and free you are in your body and mind, the easier it will all flow. I promise. One more thing about challenges. I've talked a lot about relationships and people, but also so the father of your child might be your partner or husband or friend or lover or ex, whatever it is. You have this bond through this child, and it is going to test your relationship with each other. And so there will be a lot of things that you feel strongly about that your partner might feel the opposite about. And it's going to be a growth for you both in finding ways to either come to a middle ground, or ways that you need to let go of some of your past ideas, and for your partner as well to maybe let go of some of the things. And so the things you really, really, really feel strongly about, keep holding that, keep fighting for it, and keep trying to express in different ways why you really feel true to that. And things that aren't such a big deal to you and think maybe I'm wrong or not worth the fight, just let go of. So I wish you all the best in finding that balance with your partner, or the father, your husband, whoever. After having my first, I was like, oh, I get why people get divorced after having a baby, because it's so hard, it's so stressful, it's so challenging, it's so fragile, it's so raw, and you're like sleep deprived. It's like, how am I supposed to nourish this relationship with my husband as well? And it's just a very trying time. And I'm grateful that my husband and I could work out issues that we had about raising a child, and we are pretty good right now. Things come up sometimes. We're still different people. He's a man and has more male tendencies than my feminine nurturing ways, but honestly a balance of both of ours is doing well. So I look forward to continuing to grow our family and seeing y'all blossom into beautiful mothers. Again, trust, trust, trust. You got this.